Hi there, this is EmmySpeaks. You're welcome to the Power in Your Voice. For this series, we are talking about clarity and thought structure. When your thought is clear, your speech is clear and powerful. Today, we're going to be talking about something that affects most people in different instances. Whether you're speaking in a classroom, you're having a conversation, or just sharing an idea, it mostly affects people and it waters down communication. Today's topic is how to avoid rambling. Have you ever been in a situation where someone starts talking? They keep going, and you're still asking yourself the question, what is the point? Yes, I've been there. I've been on both sides of the table. I've been the person that rambles, and I've been the person that have watched and listened to other people ramble. And it is not pretty. And that's why we're going to try as much as possible to get rid of it. Now, here's the truth to remember. Rambling is not always a speaking problem. It's a thinking problem. If your thoughts are not organized, then you are most likely to ramble. It is out of your thoughts that your mouth speaks. When your thoughts are organized, your words are going to come out powerful and organized. When your thoughts are disorganized or empty, you are going to ramble. Today, we're going to talk about what is rambling, how rambling weakens your voice, why people ramble, and most importantly, how can you construct a ramble-free speech? Now, what is rambling? Rambling is speaking without direction, structure, or a clear focus. It happens when someone has spoken for a length of time, yet they've not made a point. They just keep adding thoughts on top of thoughts, and you're asking yourself, what exactly are you saying? A question is thrown on the table. You have not answered the question, yet you have given an explanation, then a justification, then a story. At the end of the day, the answer to that question is jumbled up in there somewhere, but nobody can actually find it. Yes, we have heard your justification. We have heard your story. We have heard the explanation, but where is the response to that question? Or where is the suggestion to that thought? Number two, how does rambling weaken your communication? It makes you sound uncertain. When you're going around circles, people begin to think that you don't know what you want to say. You actually don't have anything to say, but just for the fun of it, you want to speak just so that your own voice is heard. And that may not be the case, but you're not going to blame us for thinking that way because you have not made sense. Even if your idea is so powerful, rambling is going to make it sound very weak. So yes, that is how it affects and weakens your communication. Another thing that would happen when you ramble is people would just stop listening. If I'm going to give you 30 seconds of my time, make it worth the while. Make a point within the first 30 seconds, or please, you're going to lose me. I'm going to start thinking about my life. I'm going to start thinking about my problems in my life. I'm going to start thinking about anything else but what you're trying to say. Because for the first 30 seconds, you have not made sense, and time is money. I'm going to think about other things. Thank you very much. Another thing that rambling does is your message is going to lose its impact. You might actually have something reasonable to say that might have actually made a difference, but because you rambled, the message just loses impact. And for a moment there, we cannot wait for you to finish talking. It weakens your message. Please, we all are very intelligent. We have intelligent thoughts. We have intelligent ideas. Please communicate it intelligently so that the impact of your message would be guarded. Now, why do people ramble? Number one, lack of thought structure. Your mouth will speak as orderly as your mind thinks. When it is disorganized in your thoughts, you are going to ramble because you're going to try to be picking the words out. Second reason why people ramble, the fear of being misunderstood. You have an idea and you already feel like people are not going to understand what you were saying. So you feel the need to explain yourself before you even bring that idea to the limelight. That is beautiful, but that is considered rambling. Explanation is not supposed to come before the main point. You make the point, then you explain. But because we are so afraid of the suggestion, we are so unsure of how it is going to be received, we feel the need to explain and justify even before we speak it out. That is wrong. And ironically, when you do that, you create more confusion as opposed to clarity. The third reason why people ramble, They're trying to sound intelligent. They think that if they make a very short phrase, people will think that they don't have sense. That's why they have not used many words. So let me use many words. Let me even throw in some big words into it, so that people will know that I know what I'm talking about. I need to explain so that you're going to lose us. At that point, we are not testing your intelligence. We just want that point you want to make so we can add the relevance to the discussion on the table. Whether you are intelligent or not at that point does not really matter. What we want at that point is ideas. What we want at that point is suggestions that will push us forward. And if all you're going to do is ramble just to prove to us that you're intelligent, we don't really care. So we're going to move on from you. Thank you very much. The fourth reason why people ramble is lack of preparation. I cannot overemphasize this. I have a video where I talk detailedly about how to prepare before you speak. Please go and watch that video so you will not come and ramble. Thank you very much. When you don't prepare, your thoughts are all over the place and you are going to ramble. No matter how intelligent you are, no matter how much knowledge you think you have fed yourself with over time, if you don't prepare before you speak, you are going to ramble. Even if it is on the spot speaking, there are preparations that you can make to help you not ramble. When you haven't thought through your message beforehand, you are most likely to ramble. Say, for example, I am invited to come and give a speech on the power in your voice. Because I have been on this topic for 1 year, I feel like I have learned enough. I know what I need to know. I know everything about the power in your voice. And so I'm just going to wake up one morning, do my makeup, look fine, and go and stand there and give a powerful speech. It's a lie. It will not be powerful if I don't prepare, if I don't organize my thoughts, if I don't take into consideration my time, the audience, and everything. I will ramble. And then my whole power in your voice movement is going to be watered down just because I did not prepare. This is very important. Remember this: preparation brings clarity, and clarity prevents rambling. So prepare. After all this is said and done, how then do you avoid rambling? Before you speak, remember this: clear speakers are respected more than long speakers. So which do you want to be at this point in time? Do I want to sound clear, or do I want to speak for long? Even if it is answering a question, making a suggestion, delivering a speech, teaching, always remember, clear speakers are respected way more than long speakers. With that in mind, how do you avoid rambling? Know the main point. Ask yourself the question: what is the point I want to make? If you cannot clearly state it in your head in one sentence, then you're going to ramble. Clear speakers know their core message. Everything else builds on that. Even if you are giving a suggestion, what is the core of this suggestion? What point do I want to drive through? Until you can articulate that in one sentence in your head, please don't speak it out just yet. All my external processors, come closer. Number 2, use this structure: the point, explain, example. State the point, explain the idea, and then give an example. Let me give an example. There's a discussion on the table. People are debating or arguing about, should a woman actually preach the gospel or be a pastor of a church? I raise up my hand and I say, I think women should actually be allowed to pastor a church. Here is why. In the Bible, we see that a woman carried Jesus. Jesus is the word. So embedded in a woman is the life of God. And how can somebody who carries that life be quiet? How can somebody who carries the word of God be shut down, be asked to just share it in her small groups just because she's a woman? That is me explaining my point, and I could go on and on. You can listen to me go on and on in that explanation because I have already made the point. I think that women should be allowed to preach the gospel and even pastor a church. Now I can bring in an experience. I can throw in an example. For example, I'm a woman. I love God so much. I love to study the word. And whenever I study the word of God, I want to share it to as many people as are willing to listen. If the church is a platform that presents itself before me, I will not stop myself from sharing the word because I am a woman. And I don't think I should be limited. And just like that, I have made a point. I have stated the point, I have explained, and I've given an example. So the rule is make the point, explain the point, and if necessary, give an example. Number 3 is pause instead of filling up the spaces. Many people ramble because they are uncomfortable with silence while they are talking. You feel like if you're talking and then suddenly you go silent when you're not done, that moment of silence is your mumu moment. No, it's not. It's okay to pause if you are still trying to find what to say. It's okay to take a pause. A pause allows your thoughts to catch up with your speed, and you're going to avoid using or just repeating words. Never be afraid of a moment of silence in your speech. Silence actually makes your speech stronger. Practice. Yes, practice. Practice, practice, practice. If you're somebody who is interested in speaking clearly without rambling, practice summarizing. If there is a thought that you have to say, ask yourself, how else can I say this in 1 minute to make it make sense without necessarily using many words? How can I deliver this message in a shorter time and make sure that it is still understood and clear? Practice. What's the best way to practice? Build a clear speech in 2 minutes. A clear speech begins with clear thoughts. When your thoughts are organized, your speech is going to be clear. First thing, what is the main point? What are 2 or 3 things to mention that can support the main point? Number 3, what example can I use to help people understand the main point better? See this simple structure, it can transform your communication massively. Clear thoughts equals to clear speech. Clear speech equals to confident voice, and a confident voice influences the world. Always remember this when next you want to speak. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.